Hi, I'm Abby Crotty. I'm here in the PhocusWire studio with Chris Clayton of Scenic Hotels and James Bishop of SiteMinder. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So just to start off kind of a broader question, what would each of you say are the greatest challenges for hotels right now?
As a hotelier?
Yeah, okay. I think money, getting the funds to do the job we need to do well, getting executive buy-in to the rapid change of technology. So it has changed a lot in the last couple of years, and it's going to change even faster the next couple of years. So I think getting people at their highest levels to understand what's required to deliver on what we want to deliver for our guests.
Yeah, I think it's similar from a technology perspective. What we see with hoteliers is it's actually, yes, relating to money, is understanding or having confidence in where to invest in technology. And that really links into what Chris says about, the rapid change that we have in technology at the moment. There's a real risk that hoteliers are waiting to see so that they can invest in the right place. And, that's kind of stifling the adoption of technology across the industry while they're waiting to see what's going to be the best bet for me as a hotelier, for my brand. As a technology company, obviously we encourage people to adopt technology, but I think with caution and to ensure that you do continue to innovate and experiment through that investment. I think looking where the key sort of opportunities are within that investment at the moment.
Yeah. So kind of going off of that, where would you say hotels are placing the highest importance? What areas of technology are kind of at the top of the list right now for investment?
Well, from what we see, and sort of, what's coming off the top of the tongue is, everyone's kind of looking at that AI opportunity at the moment and trying to understand where to best invest. We see a lot of investment around the guest engagement. I think really the opportunity is in automation and the moving of tasks, and it's not necessarily taking away roles from people, but enabling existing roles to be more productive, more efficient within their tasks.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think focusing on the guest journey, making sure the guest experience is right and getting that nailed from pre-booking, the dreaming, planning stage, right through to the booking and the review at the end. I think that's really important. I think we as a company are reviewing our entire tech stack. So we're really focused on making sure we streamline as much as we can. I think AI is, it's not, you can't go down to the local Best Buy or the local Harvey Norman and buy AI.com on a CD-ROM and plug it in and you've got AI. And I think that's the mistake that I think some of the senior people around the world, not just our company, are thinking. So I think there's a lot of work we can do around that to look at which parts of AI can we implement to maximize the best return on that investment. It's not a one-size-fits-all, you plug it in and away you go.
Right. So as integration improves across the industry, what benefits are you seeing and how is this impacting positively or negatively operations?
Yeah, so I think integrations, it's really interesting. To me, when I first started in hotels, I've been there 10 years now, the PMS was kind of dumb. It had to integrate with a bunch of different systems, so SiteMinder is a good example of that, and it did that pretty well. But what we're seeing now is what that created was a distribution of data. So our guest data was actually sitting in 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 different places. So when we try to get a really good understanding of our guests and how we can, when you start talking about AI, and AI needs data to be successful, that data is so spread out that it's really hard to get an AI algorithm to provide that really good guest experience. So what we're seeing now is what I'm seeing and what we're looking for in our tech stack is a really complete PMS that does a lot more than what it currently does. And that will provide that view of the data. And then we'll integrate with partners like channel managers that we absolutely critically need to work with the OTAs to do the rest. So that's our focus actually is trying to simplify our tech stack down so our data sitting in one place, whether that's PMS, POS, SPA, anything else, any other touch point at any point of the hotel, anyone should be able to say, hi Chris, I can see that you're a VIP and therefore I'll give you extra special treatment or whatever our policy will be.
But we see it similarly, but maybe with a slightly different tinge on it at times. So, integration between systems is key. We're seeing less and less with a lot of hotels and brands that they're actually moving decisions and functionality away from the PMS and using that PMS as their core sort of day-to-day operational platform. We're obviously we're open to choice, as it were. So what we're doing from our integrations and what we're doing with some of our core integrations, which we announced sort of fairly recently, we're deepening that integration between ourselves and the PMS to ensure that the hotels can actually choose where their guest data lives, and also make it more mobile. So if you suddenly want to use that within a new AI platform, you don't have to wait for your PMS to integrate to it. It's sitting within the SiteMinder environment also. We have 1,000 partners integrated and, lots of opportunities to do additional things with that guest data. And we're also blending it with market level intelligence as well. So we can actually have a look at your performance in the market against the hotel's own performance. So the movement of data is becoming more and more important, and hotels choosing where decisions are made. So if they want to make rate decisions or rate optimization decisions within the distribution layer, be that at SiteMinder or another platform that sits above the PMS, it's ensuring that those decisions get transferred to the platforms that really count and need that information.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because we're both saying the same thing. Obviously, you've got an interest in having the data sitting in your platform. I have an interest in the data sitting closer to me, but we both want the same thing, and that data in one place.
Yes, yeah, and that data to be able to, so that you have the ability as a hotelier to amend and choose your tech stack without being reliant on a single source of data of where that data sits today.
Yeah, and there's merit in that approach as well.
Okay, so I know we were talking a little bit about AI before. So I was wondering if either of you, or both of you rather, could provide some early experiences with it, implementation examples, areas of success, areas of struggle, just things along those lines.
I'm happy to talk about it. As SiteMinder as a business, we are adopting AI throughout our business to obviously enable us and enable our teams to be able to get more input on our decisions and make better decisions around how we can better optimize our platform for hotels and how we see our hotels implementing AI. Again, it's all about making sure that the data is in the place so that and is formatted in such a way that it can be used by AI. So we have an AI backbone within the SiteMinder platform, which we use throughout the platform in helping hotels to understand their market, the opportunities that they have, and things that, the predictive analytics to be able to say, actually, these changes that you could implement today are actually going to make an impact to you in 3 weeks, 6 weeks, and what those predictions should look like. So it's a really exciting time for hotels to look at that. I think we see the majority of the implementation around, as we said earlier, I think is the guest engagement part and ensuring you've got that consistent contact with the guest and you're able to answer those responses. And I think that's a very easy use case for AI today.
Yeah, we've invested in AI as well. So we, like everyone, we rolled out Copilot or ChatGPT to our users. We're seeing some good uptake on that. We're seeing some people are less inclined to use it because they think they know better, or it's just a generational change, I think. We have also implemented a revenue management system, which is using AI algorithms to help maximize our revenue. We've seen some good uptake in that, but what we did find when we implemented that was some of our data wasn't quite clean enough behind. So the work you're doing with the data is really important because the poor data leads to bad outcomes, right? So we're absolutely working with our data to make that cleaner and tidier. And then we're also we created a committee to work on the AI project, but it's not a one big project. It's not that AI.com and a CD-ROM. It's let's go and look at what task can we implement that's going to fine-tune that to make our guest experience better, automate our back office. And one of those things we've implemented was actually a RPA, or a robotic process automation, which we had 8,000 emails a month coming in from booking.com. and Expedia, and those emails had things like guest wants to confirm arrival time, guest wants to have a late check-in, late check-out, and that took a person or people to do that. And 8,000 emails a month, 2 minutes per email, that's 16,000 minutes, that's a lot of hours. So we've actually automated 96% of that. So the emails now come in, they now get processed by a robot. We use the API, updates the property management system, and there's no human interaction. So that's freed up, no one's been laid off, that's freed up those people to do more rewarding work. I can't think of anything worse than, processing 8,000 emails a month. So
No, absolutely.
Yeah. For sure. And so speaking of Booking and Expedia, there's been a lot of chatter about OTAs having sort of a leg up with distribution due to early partnerships with larger tech AI players. So where does that leave independent properties and small chains at this point?
Yeah, it's interesting because at the moment, there's no paid search in ChatGPT or any of the other LLMs, right? That will come. That's without a doubt, right? Nothing is more certain than that. So I think for us, we don't have that integration that Booking.com and Expedia have within ChatGPT. I can't see us getting it anytime soon. We're 18 hotels. We're not going to be anywhere near close enough. So that will either come through a partner like SiteMinder or Amadeus or one of the other big players. Or as I said in the previous panel, there'll be the website will be replaced by that personalized search result that you get from an LLM. And I can't quite get my head around how that will work because that content that's on the website has to feed that LLM. So there's obviously some changes happening there that I can't quite understand. But I think that's actually, it's an exciting opportunity. And I think we need the OTAs as well. So it's not as simple as the OTAs, we don't like them. Actually, we like them. It's a really good value way for us to market our properties to people in the UK, in the US, and Spain, and Portugal, and Germany, and the like. And it's a really cheap way of doing it. So I think they add value. We don't want to see them go. We just want to get more of the share.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and look, I think where the LLMs go and that sort of booking process, what we're seeing today is a lot more of that dreaming phase is being done within the chat GPTs and Perplexity and so on, and people really understanding, narrowing down where they want to go. No one's really nailed that booking process within there today. There's a lot of handoff and, there's still a lot of friction in that. And I think we're going to continue to see experiments with different platforms and different partners and how that goes. I'm with you, Chris. I think, look, ultimately it's going to take other technology partners to enable, similar to what we do today with Google Hotel Finder or or the Trivago and the Metas. Like, there's going to be an environment where hotels can compete and market themselves within those platforms directly to hotels. It's understandable that as an experiment, a platform like OpenAI would look to a large inventory source initially to have that first sort of experiment and moves into hotel bookings. So look, it's still going to be an interesting world. I think, thankfully, I don't think any of this is happening tomorrow or before the end of this year. There's a lot of time and there's a lot of energy going on within the industry, both on the tech side and within the hotels and hotel groups, to really understand how best to position ourselves within those platforms. What you can do today is just make sure that, your content is being made available to those platforms and that you are very searchable, so you continue to still get the eyeballs on your brand when people are really searching for those experiences within your markets.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Absolutely. And so kind of just to wrap up here, with tech implementation cycles kind of taking a multi-year approach, they take a few years to develop. Do we risk tech being obsolete by the time it's launched, even though it's technically new?
I don't believe so. I think we're in a position where, hotel groups and hoteliers are in a position where they can take steps towards implementation. Like the nature of technology today, all being cloud-based, realistically, we as tech companies are doing everything we can to reduce the barriers for people to adopt our technology, making it as intuitive and easy to implement, working on partnerships so that the integrations can happen more seamlessly and without user input. You should be in a position where you can actually, and we see PMSs getting switched out, 2 weeks to roll out 20 hotels onto a new PMS fairly easily these days. So I think, it's a bit of an old story. Tech is actually becoming easier to implement. You can implement in pockets. So, you can add an app here which does guest engagement. You can add an app over there that is optimizing your housekeeping routines using AI. You don't have to make wholesale changes across the whole business. You can implement in part and take incremental moves towards that additional tech stack.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think whilst it's not going to happen quickly this year or probably in the first quarter of next year, I think the changes are coming really quickly, especially when you look at historical changes. Look at the growth of the PMS over the last 20 years. It hasn't really materially changed a lot in the last 10 years. Oh, no. Sorry, it's changed more in the last 10 years than the prior 10 years.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see that same rapid growth and that same change growth will be evident in the new technologies that come through. So finding platforms that do operate well with other providers is key. And I think they are all starting to do that now. So I don't think it's an inherent risk that we're going to be obsolete by the time we deliver it. And like you say, we deploy 18 hotels in less than 18 weeks easily. So
yeah, and realistically, look, there is obviously a subset of hotels that I am thinking very much about a hotel that's using cloud technology today. Of course, there's still a subset of hotels that have a sort of server based. They've got stuff implemented, technology implemented, actual hardware within the hotels. I think that is a point. Those hotels are at the point where they do need to cut the cord, because you cannot grow, you cannot add to that. It's not easy to be agile and implement new partnerships with technology when you've got a server sitting at the hotel and you need someone to actually deal with it. So yes, those hotels, and we've seen a big migration towards cloud. I think we'll continue to see that, but once you're in that environment, obviously it gives you so much more flexibility to grow and change and adapt your technology based on the requirements of your market at any time.
Yeah, agreed. You can't run an operation anymore with servers on-prem. The servers have to be in the cloud, and the software has to be in the cloud for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for your time. It was wonderful speaking with you.
Thank you. I'd like to meet you too.
Thank you very much.